Hello?
Nobody's home.
Oh, there's no one here. Never mind, we're not doing it. Cichlid Drive, folks.
Hello.
Cichlid Drive. This is Dr. Ron Coleman.
Welcome
the man.
to my fish lab called the Evolutionary Ecology of Fishes Lab here at Sac State.
Yes, this is
Come on in.
This is my hometown. This is where my sister went to school, actually. So I've been here many times over the years, but never have I been as excited as when I walked in to this building.
Cool.
This is very, very cool. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe give us a little background on, we know you're the professor of biological sciences here, and how did you get into this? How did you get started on this journey?
Well, to tell you the truth, when I was young, we weren't allowed to have any cats or dogs. So
It's heartbreaking.
still bothers my mom.
Heartbreaking.
But I had fish.
Okay.
And I started with fish, and I kept fish since I was about 10
Wow.
as a hobby. And when I went to university, I thought I was going to study wildebeest on the Great Plains of Africa.
It's a good choice.
I thought that's the thing to do. You
Obviously.
know, out there running around.
Yeah.
But I had a professor who actually did that, and he said, you want to think about that because, first of all, they smell bad. And there's
Heartbreaking.
20,000 of them in a group.
Well,
And it's dusty, smelly, dirty, and they run away from you.
they do that.
And I thought, okay. But at the time, I was up in Vancouver, British
Okay.
Columbia.
Oh, beautiful.
That's where my family is.
Oh, how cool.
And I worked at the Vancouver Aquarium.
Okay. Oh,
And
nice.
so I got to see fishes, and
Yeah.
I fell in love with just the variety and all the weird and wonderful things that they do. And so then I pursued my master's and my PhD up in Canada, and I got an opportunity to come to California on the tab of the Canadian government for several years.
Awesome.
And I went to Berkeley, and I love California.
Yeah.
And then I've been here 25 years.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love. Well, we love that you're here because honestly, this is so exciting. I am a huge biology nerd. That was always my favorite subject. Always, anything where life was present, it was interesting to me. I've also kept fish since I was very young. So, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just kind of start at the beginning here and show us some things you got going on.
Show you what we do. So it is the Evolutionary Ecology of Fishes Lab. So what we study is why fishes do the things that they do, and,
Right.
and why they're built the way that they're built.
I love that.
And the group of fishes that we mostly study, except for some odd things, are the cichlid fishes.
Yes.
Because there's about 2,000 of them. They're in freshwater. I work in Costa Rica every year for the last almost 35 years.
Wow.
And what I see in the lab is the same as what I see in the field.
That's so cool.
So I can study them there,
Yeah.
I take students there, and we can put them in tanks. And even though they're not as big, they do everything the same.
I love that.
And the reality is for, like, you come on in, a lot of these fish, a space like a 20-gallon tank or a 30-gallon tank, for a pair of them is all they get in the wild.
Right.
They don't get the whole river.
People don't understand they're not transgressing this entire river system.
No,
Yeah.
and so we have a lot of Central American cichlids. I have a lot of West African cichlids right now.
My favorite.
This is Tilapia buttercofferi.
These are pretty guys.
Well, they're very pretty. The female wants to lay eggs, and the male wants to fertilize them, but he never quite does.
Oh, buddy.
So he's got to get his act together.
Yeah.
They've done it 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay, they have.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
But he's never quite got it right.
They'll get there.
So-
Cichlids take some time sometimes.
We have East African cichlids, like the shell dwellers
Yes.
that many people love.
We have
I love
kept these.
these guys because in a tank this size, you get to see that there's one guy this is his harem, and there's another guy that's his harem, and they don't like each other, and they build a wall all the
love it.
time, and they move it, and they put shells on top of it, so they don't have to look at each other. It's really funny to watch. So every day it's different.
They are the comedians, for
They're
sure.
they're really great.
I really
Not
enjoy
a lot of
those.
color, but lots of behavior. These guys.
Ooh, wow.
These are Tropheus duboisii, Mazwa, and they are immediate mouth brooders. So actually, she's holding right there.
Oh, cool.
And so we're
Yes, she
just
is.
starting the breeding season for these guys. There's also a little Tomatochromis in there.
Aw.
And there's a couple of Tropheus burchardi, which is slightly different
I
fish.
saw
This
one.
and that
Yep,
one.
yep.
They've never spawned for us. We're hoping to spawn them.
Okay.
But these guys are very interesting because you have a male like this, and this is his bachelor pad. And the idea, this is actually the guy's whose bachelor's pad. There's about
Oh, he's
three
in there. There he
three
is,
big
yep.
males.
Okay.
And his job is to get one of the girls in there. They spawn, and then she carries the eggs in her mouth. First as eggs for 2 weeks, and then it's fry for another 2 weeks. And so no eating, no eating.
Wow.
And it's truly amazing. So I've had this colony, I guess about four years or so.
Oh wow, they've been here for a while.
And they replace themselves. There's more than one I got, but you know, as they get old, they die off. And there's some, I don't know if you can see this, a little, the babies are the spotted ones.
Yep,
We
I
just
see
got our
them.
first batch of babies out. The smart ones
They are cool
hide.
looking. Yeah.
You go in
Yeah,
there.
the ones that survive.
The smart ones hide. The less smart ones, well, they don't last too long.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't get much bigger.
We use all the fish here are for various experiments. In this case, we're interested in the length of time it takes for the parental care and the size of the eggs.
Oh, okay.
And so we will take the eggs out of their mouths and we'll hatch them and do all sorts of things, mess with the fish.
Yeah.
So, but they're just fun to watch because they're just very, very busy.
Yes, they are.
And it's truly fascinating to the students that you could go a month without eating. That
Yeah,
they find that
you know,
just
I find so much of what fish do amazing, and that is no exception. That's pretty cool.
So we are a lab at a university, so we are geared towards, and particularly at Sac State, a public university, getting young people involved in science.
Yes.
And a lot of them have never kept a fish. I have in my lab right now 13 master's students and I think 14 undergrads. So there's like 27 people.
Yeah.
Now it's spring break, so they're not here today.
I was going to say it's quite calm today at
Yeah,
Sac State.
but
Lovely.
there can be almost 30 people in here.
Wow.
And constantly working on different projects.
How
like
cool.
Right to your side here is a burgeoning crayfish project.
I was going to say I see their potential. Yep.
So we're going to be looking. Student Ryan is interested in the calcium in the water versus how thick their shells are.
Yes, that's a good
So
one.
he's going to be setting that up.
Cool.
That's a good little experiment.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, I see my favorite, some
Now,
geos in here.
These guys, there's
rock
geos,
gills?
but these are liberifer.
Oh, those are the liberifers.
And
They're
yesterday they were lip locking, so they're about to spawn.
Nice.
Now the cool thing about this, there's severums.
Yeah.
I've kept severums almost
I love 'em.
for 30 years. There's 8 or 9 species. They lay the eggs on the ground. They're wonderful parents, but not these guys.
Really?
These are wonderful parents, but in a different way. They are delayed mouth brooders.
Oh, that's right. The liberifers
They're the
are
only
the
ones
mouth
that do this,
brooders.
and what they'll do is they'll lay eggs on either on there or on the back. Actually, I can see where they've cleaned a little bit, and they actually lay the eggs. So the eggs are there, unlike those guys, which pick them up immediately.
Right.
They lay them there, they guard them, and then when they hatch, they mouth brood them, and both parents mouth brood.
Wow, that's cool.
They swap them. It's so
Okay.
cool to watch.
I had Bujerkina vittata that were biparental mouth, and watching them pass those babies around was the coolest thing I've
I
ever
wish
seen.
I could get that fish.
Impossible to find now.
Yeah.
Imperial Tropicals is where I used to get them,
Yeah.
and then they stopped, and I
Yeah.
haven't been able to find them.
This is part of the challenge for me. Is getting fish now
Yeah, it's
is hard,
Yeah.
and a lot of the importers have gone away, and the ones that are tend to keep a certain group of fish
Right.
because that's what sells.
Right.
And actually, though, to be honest, I don't know if you know what heterochromis multidens is.
Yes, I do.
I just got 20 of them last
Oh,
night.
wow. Okay, so
From
that's
the-
exciting.
There are some very special
Small
spots.
victories.
Small victories.
Small victories. We'll take
So,
it. Congratulations.
we have all sorts of other little guys.
Yes, lots of
I
little
will show you
tanks.
actually some of the experiments that we're
Please.
doing. So this one here, there's experiments intermingled with tanks. This is a student named Jupiter. She had never worked with fish before, and she'd never worked with 3D printing. So I said, let's do some 3D printing with fish. And what she's interested in, she is in a project called the McNair program.
Okay.
And what that program is about giving people who don't have science experience at first real taste of science.
Oh, nice.
And so she designed this, and with my help, and she built it. So what it is, it's a racetrack.
Oh my
It's a
God.
racetrack, so we have a pump here. I'm
Yeah.
not going to turn it on because I don't want to mess it up on her. But the nice thing about it is it has a speed control, which is
Oh, wow.
over here someplace, and it's down there. When the pump goes on, the water zooms around this little racetrack, and we can put the little gates up, and we can put a baby, very small babies, in here, and we can clock exactly how long and how fast they can go. Because they'll put their little nose into the current and they'll swim as long as they can until they're like, I can't do it anymore.
That's
and
amazing.
That's the limit.
How cool.
And so she has shown very nicely that each little increment in size makes for better swimming
Wow,
performance.
how-
It's the
okay.
first time this has ever been done for fry. People
That's
do this
cool.
big fish all the
Yeah.
time. But in order to do it, she had to design this racetrack. And actually, I'll take you quickly out of this lab to our little auxiliary space here.
I like how much space you have.
Well, sort of. So what we do here is
Oh, wow.
we
Those.
I bought a 3D printer.
Oh, nice.
And so we just design, and things don't always work. You know,
Sometimes they do, sometimes they
version
don't.
1, version
Yes.
version 5, whatever. And she learned how to do it and how to join them, and lots of trial and
So
error.
she's getting a lot of practical experience
yeah.
in multiple different.
There's a program called Fusion 360. She'd never used it before.
How cool.
Now she's quite good at it.
That's-
And so we made these little racetracks, and she put spigots on. And
I love that
all
for the
sorts
fry
of-
too,
Yes.
specifically.
What might be interesting is using the racetrack to breed hill streams with the flow.
Oh.
You could, but you need something bigger.
Yeah, you need a
And
large.
so the challenge with moving water is always you can push it, but then it pushes back, like when it hits the end of the tank. And so some people have designed some very elaborate, large circular tanks, or you have a top part of the tank and then the water flows under the bottom and comes back up. I've tried a few times. It's hard to get it really right. And then it's even harder to clean it.
Oh
Because
God,
then you
I
have
can
to
imagine.
take everything
Taking
apart.
the whole thing apart.
So,
yeah.
but we're working on it. We're working on
Nice.
it.
Well, it's very cool to have a 3D printer because in fish keeping that can be.
Don't worry about that.
Oh,
Oops.
way to go.
Don't worry about it. This is another experiment we just
Ooh.
actually took down. This is a tank where we have 3 sections, one on the end, one on the end, one in the middle. We put a male up here, a male down there, a female in the middle. This male can't see that male, and she can choose which male.
Ooh, I like that. See,
Yeah.
that's interesting to
She
me.
gets to.
She gets to make her choice.
And we can see, and she, because we use things like convict cichlids, she'll lay her eggs right next to the one, can leave it
Oh,
open.
of course, yeah.
Where
The-
she likes.
the
So
convicts do what they like.
They tell us what they want.
Right. That's amazing. I love that. That's very cool.
So over here, lots more things happening. This
Oh,
is
wow.
the main. We have 3 fish rooms. This is the biggest one.
This is my favorite smell. I
And
love it.
yeah, the smell of algae.
Yes, I love it.
Tanks are various stages of clean and dirty. We have 170 fish tanks.
Wow.
So there's always tanks that need to be cleaned every day.
Some of my favorites,
so-
the diadema.
Yeah, some of the so we have South Americans growing up. Some are long term, like these are true parrots.
Yeah.
They're going to be 5-6 years, you know,
Right.
to get anywhere. Those guys are big enough to breed.
They're beautiful.
This is everyone's favorite. I'll let
Oh, the Dovi.
you. So I've had him
Hey, buddy.
for 10 years, and I had his dad for 17 years.
Wow.
So there's 27 years there.
That's pretty special.
So don't tease him. Just take a
Okay.
bunch and just drop him in, because if you tease him, he'll jump right at you.
that is my, that might be the most satisfying thing ever.
Now, drop some over. Oh, there she came. Drop some
I
over
saw
there.
her. Yeah.
She's quite a bit smaller. The
She
trick,
is small,
the
yeah,
trick
look at
to something like this, with almost all cichlids, is controlling aggression.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's people will get these big males, or they'll grow them up, and they have a big male, and it'll kill all the females.
Right.
The key here is there's this plastic root thing, which only she can go under, and he can't get in there.
Yep.
And so they'll spawn, and then after she decides she didn't like him for a while, she goes and hides there for a bit. And then when she's feeling good, which she's looking pretty good now, she's probably going to lay some eggs again, she can come out. But that's the whole thing, is you've got to control the aggression, because I have seen fish of his size kill a female with one bite.
I think having a retreat, like you said, they have to have a place to go to, and if they don't, what
Me
if
too.
there's no defense.
Yeah.
These
so-
are some of my favorite. I loved my diadema
So these
much.
are diademas. This one here is
it's another dorsalis.
yes. So I have a tank of those. It's one of my favorite fishes.
Do you breed them?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to talk to you about that.
So they
Yeah,
they're
those
a
are great.
really interesting fish.
Yeah, they are beautiful, beautiful fish.
I've
Not
never
enough
seen
people,
one in person.
not
Well,
enough people know about those, in my
Well,
opinion.
that's one of the things we focus on. So what we do right now, so we've got traditional mouth brooders like the Tropheus
Right.
and things like Alanicara. We do also in here. There's
Oh, the Julidicromis,
Julidicromis
yeah.
who have kids.
The babies.
But we never see the eggs, and this is the
Really?
trouble with a lot of species in the hobby. People breed them all the time, but I say, well, have you seen the eggs? No, we never see the eggs. We just see the kids.
So
It's
how
like
do
they're
we know?
very secretive.
Yeah, that's
So-
interesting.
Then we have some sort of traditional Victorian, that's the female. The male is quite
Oh, yeah.
stunning, but he's hiding right now.
Yep, there's
You know,
that
these
face.
sort of, and there's some different ones up there. They're dimorphic. The male and the female are very, very different.
Right.
These are from West Africa. They're one of
Wow.
my favorite, the Coptodons of the blue lips.
Do you spawn these too?
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
seen these. Yeah, I've heard of them, but I've never seen them in real life.
They're actually, the way to spawn them is to put a bunch of them in there with enough spaces. There's actually,
Those are
she's
beautiful.
She's been a spawner, has spawned right.
They remind me of the Paragoba cichlid,
The Irvini?
the Irvini with the lips.
They
Yeah,
also kill things like that too.
love. I've heard they're a little.
So here's another one
Ooh,
of
the
these.
Jingle one.
This is Bonitochromis finley.
I love these. Yeah, these
And
guys
so
are
the boy is over there, the girl's the big one in the middle. This is their last batch of kids.
Aw.
Why we're very interested in these guys and the Negro dorsalis, they are delayed mouth brooders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not clear exactly when they pick up because you hardly ever see it. But theoretically, they lay the eggs on the ground. They don't actually lay them like a traditional mouth brooder. And they both pick them up and they swap.
cool. Wow.
And so sometimes the male has them and sometimes the female has them, which is fabulous.
Yeah, I love that.
And what we're interested in is the beauty of this system is whichever one isn't holding can be eating.
Right.
So it seems like there's a lot of advantages to this system over the traditional sort of single
You're
parent
stuck
mouth brooder.
with it, and now what?
Except of the 2,000 cichlids, 1,000 are mouth brooders, 900 are egg layers, and there's like probably less than 30 that are this delayed swappers.
See, I'm interested to know what causes that.
That's what we're trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
I wanna
is
know
what
that.
are the costs and benefits?
Right.
It's an interesting problem.
Yeah, it is. That's
we
piqued my
have
interest.
More fish. This is a tuba. This is my fish I study in the wild a lot. Very difficult fish to keep in captivity because the males are 14 inches.
Oh, yeah, there he is back there. I didn't see
So
him.
that's a
Let's
her.
see. Oh, her.
That's a her.
Hello, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool looking fit. I like that. Where did they come from?
Costa Rica.
From Costa Rica.
So that's where I do most of my field work.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you bring a
crochet.
lot back when you go?
Can't bring them back.
Can't really? None? Oh, that's
It's
heartbreaking.
not legal.
Oh, I thought it still was. Ooh.
So then we have
Theori.
sorts of the theori is good. These guys are very interesting.
Oh, these are some of my. I've kept Tenanti and Cassowaries, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually forced him to keep them because he thought he had been told by everybody they were horrible, and I said no. You just have to know how to set up their tank, and they're
Yeah.
fantastic. I adore these cichlids. These are some of my
They
favorites.
can get very males can get like this.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing with them and these is that unlike most cichlids, after they have kids, they don't seem to mind having the kids around.
No, I noticed that.
So like these guys here, these are all brothers and sisters from about 4 or 5 generations, and it doesn't bother them. And same with the Cassowaries. Convict cichlids, where we have convicts all over the place.
Yeah.
As the kids get bigger, they're like, no, it's time to go.
Right.
You either leave or the parents will kill them.
Right.
But these guys don't, so that's very interesting. That one is,
I've kept many.
you kept this guy?
I've kept about 13 Adaketa over the years. Yeah.
I've never spawned one.
Never. I tried harder than I tried to ever get anything to spawn, and I had a form pair, like
Yeah.
a pair that tolerated each other. Nothing.
Yeah.
I actually bought 10 of them from a breeder in Oregon with the hopes that I would be able to get somebody
Yeah.
to do something. No, I don't know anybody who has, personally. I don't know anybody, and they're my favorite. Their personality is fantastic.
So I have that one. I also have the
Bimaculata.
Yeah, that was very small.
But those I've heard a lot of success with people spawning them.
I
but
don't know. It's just sometimes these fish, you never know. Is
Yeah.
it a real thing or is it just people haven't tried enough? But
Yeah.
I've had them for like 5 years.
Yeah, that's
And
what I've heard.
They look good and they
Look
hang
great.
around, but they don't spawn.
Nope, I was so frustrated. Never have I wanted more to get something to spawn, like I said.
So then we have more miscellaneous fishes over here. You'll notice throughout the fish room we have a bunch of frontosa in various
I do see all the
sizes and
frontosa,
stages.
yes.
The reason is that frontosa has a very, very large egg. And so we really would like to spawn frontosa. But it is a challenge. They're certainly not going to spawn in there. The problem is, you may notice we have lots of tanks, but we have very few large tanks.
Right, I did
And
notice,
it's
yeah.
just not, we're just not geared for that. And we would have to take out a lot of tanks to put in large tanks. So I have some elsewhere, but we're working on it. So-
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hey, how do you find the Tanio parias to behave? Are they Have you noticed them being kind of jerky?
Actually, I got them as small and they're just growing up now. I haven't really watched them much.
So you'll have to let me know because I'm so curious. They're one of the only geos I haven't kept. So
these are, I work a lot on this fish in the wild.
Oh, nice, blue-eyed cichlids.
And they are every now and then available. And it's the interesting thing that we're working on is there's this fish, Septum fasciatus, and there's a fish called Myrnae.
The Myrnae are
and
beautiful.
we're looking at the genetics of them, and they're actually not really separate.
Really?
And one place, the Septum fasciatus are pure seps,
Okay.
Myrnae are pure Myrnae. But in the middle,
there's a little bit of a convergence there.
There's a lot of mixing.
We bred Sahicas, and I love all the blue-eyed cichlids, topaz. They're just all so pretty.
So then we have more rooms.
More rooms.
Now they might get
This
a little.
is the best.
They might get a little dirtier, but
That's okay. We're
so
fine
here
with
we
that.
are. So here we have.
Ooh, a secret room. I like this.
Yes, our secret tunnel back
This
here.
is an exciting looking room.
So all of these. Hello, you're welcome to walk through.
Who wouldn't want to go in there?
All these were storage rooms when I first got here.
Really?
Yeah, they had. Well, our limitations is an old building. There is exactly 2 outlets in this room.
Yes.
So all of this runs on 2 outlets.
Oh my!
The other one, yeah. So
I need to take a lesson from you because we've got the same problem.
So we have to be. Oh, are you holding it?
Oh, they're so pretty.
So these are. I don't know. They fake it a lot. This is Nigger dorsalis.
Look at how gorgeous these fish are. These
They're
are
just stunning. Yeah, they really are, and they are delayed mouth booters that swap.
I have to get these.
So
These are. I'm doing a West African tank, so I'm gonna.
they come in every now and then through the wet spot.
Yeah.
It's very sporadic, and
miss.
it's certain times of year.
We'll have to tell them to let us know because we talk to them regularly. So I'm gonna.
The
tell
other
them to
thing
keep
is
an eye
that
on
there's
it.
some of them, like these ones are very pretty. There's Guntheri.
I
which
kept
is not
Guntheri.
quite as pretty.
I love the Guntheri.
And then you go down to something like the Mungos, which are even less, and so
Yeah.
they don't sell well.
No. Steve and I were having a conversation about the Guntheri because I loved them and I found them at Exotic Aquarium. They were technically like they had no idea what they were. They were like, we don't have a clue. So I figured it out, kept them, and I really liked them. But these guys are definitely, they're much prettier.
And they're not quite fired up. When they get fired up, it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, that's a beautiful fish.
So then we have more, some single, well, there's some girls in there.
Pretty.
And there's another single buttercaw fry. I got a mix and match.
Got all kinds of stuff going on in here.
Yeah,
There's Signatus somewhere back there.
Yeah, they actually spawned.
Did they?
Yeah.
We spawned those one time. We also did the Drachenfelsi, the Pelicochromis spawn for us, which was amazing.
Okay. I've not kept that one.
Yeah, I think
then
they're my favorite now. That
We
I've
have
kept.
various other weird and wonderful fish. Like this is a fish called Caroli, Ceratharodon from.
Ooh,
We have a bunch of fish from the Crater Lakes of West Africa.
look at
And
that.
the big one's a female, and she gets eggs every now and then, but I don't know if either none of the others are males or if she's too big for them.
Oh, they're just
But they're never fertilized.
interesting.
So we would love to have those fertilized.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then we have, the ubiquitous exuls, which
Oh yeah,
Are
I tried.
little death monsters.
Yes, they are.
And we have most of the Cryptoheris, so this is Chetmolensis.
Ooh, yeah, I haven't seen those in
things
real
like
life.
that. Yeah.
Those
so
are, that's beautiful.
The silver on the gill plate
Oh,
is how
wow.
we tell that.
Yeah, I
And
love
then
those.
various races of convicts.
Different convicts. See,
We use convicts a lot.
these are one of my favorites. The Aragon
Yeah.
stick. Those are
Those are all
absolutely
kids
beautiful.
from one batch.
Really? Wow.
Okay.
Successful.
Lots.
Yeah. Good for them.
And a couple little Malagasy, but not very many of those. Here's Bimaculata. There's
Yeah.
some
Oh, look at those guys.
little guys there.
Did you get them locally or?
No, where did I get those? I got those, I think, from Steve.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So
Very
we get a lot of fish through Steve.
That's where we like to get our fish from
The
too.
trick is you got to know, you got to be fast because
Yep, they're
when something
gone.
like that comes in.
I keep dwarf pikes like the Notophthalmus,
Mm-hmm.
and every single time they ever come in there, if I don't buy them within like an hour,
It's gone.
Toast.
Yeah, that's.
we used to go there every 6 weeks to film. We
Oh, really?
To the
Yeah.
warehouse, yeah. So we really love. They're the main place we get our fish too, and they get some really good stuff. But like you said, it goes real quick.
Which I don't know. I suppose that's good that there's people who
Yeah.
want it, but I know that the
I want it
hobby is
more.
definitely at a lesser point than it was a few years ago.
Yeah, it definitely has kind of tamped
Well,
down, sadly.
the issue from the Bay Area is people are renting.
Yeah, that's true.
If you rent, you can't have a tank.
That's true. That is
And
a tough
so
one.
as real estate prices went up, renters went up,
Yep.
home ownership went down, and particularly, I mean, you may be able to squeeze a shrimp tank in, but you're not getting a 120
No,
gallon on a second floor
Certainly
apartment.
not.
They're just not gonna let you.
Inspections come around
Yeah.
and they're going to notice that.
So there's Middle Tenanti. These guys are several
Those
generations.
are my
in.
absolute favorites right there.
They're
They're
just nice.
such clowns.
And then-
these guys are gorgeous. I kept those and I love them.
Yeah, they're, like all the Geophagus says, the males get bigger and the females don't. Then
That
you
is
end up
true.
with a male.
Yep. Yeah, things do go sour later on for them.
So here's some more of those Finley
Ooh,
eye.
there's the mungo.
And
Still pretty. Just
here's
a little...
one we've never spawned. Kate, Coptodon West African.
Ooh, those are pretty.
And they always look like they're going to spawn, but they never have.
No performance
So we
yet.
don't quite know what's going on there. Here's some of those Caroline. I said that had the big female.
Yeah,
When
right.
I first got her from a fellow researcher, she had fertilized eggs in her mouth, and so here's the kids from those.
Wow.
So I don't know. It's
Oh, do you see something
holding
good?
its jaw down a little bit. You never know. With some of these fish, mouth brooding, like the Tropheus, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
Some of the others, it's not so obvious.
Oh,
And
lady
they
goddess.
they can fake you out.
Loved those.
So, and then here's my other big tilapia
look,
male.
yeah, look at that big guy.
And more, yet more frontosa growing up. So
They're a popular one. Frontosa are impressive fish.
let's see.
Oh, look at, I
What
am
else
like,
can I show? I can show you. I have another space
Blown away.
upstairs with an
Are you
experiment
kidding?
running. Yeah, well, where I teach.
oh, so I've loved spawning those guys. They spawn themselves, that's why.
Yes.
You don't have to do a single thing. Just put them in the
The
tank
interesting
together.
thing, where I work in Costa Rica, they have them, but they don't have any of the sort of orange on them.
Okay, I was
They're
gonna
very,
comment.
very brown.
Yes, they have, mine were extremely electric yellow, like a dandelion. This is a rusty palette. I really like it.
There are some that are actually almost like orangey orange.
Like, yes, I've seen
They're
pictures.
widely distributed. The funny thing about that fish is they're only found in backwaters.
Really?
So you never find them, like I didn't see them for 15 years
Wow.
where I was working, because I would never go into these particular spots, and then I'm like, there's not going to be any fish in there.
Yeah.
And there were.
Wow.
Silty, really, really silty, shallow,
That surprises me.
mucky backwaters.
Really?
You don't find them out in the main waters at all. So
I've also noticed body shape on some to be quite different. Like some seem to be more elongated. Mine were a little stockier.
yeah, there's lots of
Yeah.
variety there. See, you
Pretty
guys,
fish
you
though.
should be
Wow,
spawning.
look at
You
that.
should be spawning.
Pretty.
What do you want?
You have so many species that I love. Those tenanti, I've never been more entertained by a fish than by the tenanti.
So we have about 75 species at any one time.
Wow.
And they're usually a chunk of convicts.
Yeah.
What I do with the students, many of them have never kept a fish.
Really?
So I can give a student who's never kept a fish, convicts, we have a way of setting them up. They can usually breed them within 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
so then they learn all the things that we do. We remove eggs, we measure eggs,
Right.
and measure the fish, and do all that, photograph all the techniques that we do.
Right.
So we can do that on convicts, and if I can look at their data and I know if they did it right.
Right.
And I do it with them just to make sure. So they learn on the convict, and then we move to something. Well,
A little more
I'll
complex.
give them the bimaculatum and good luck.
Yeah.
You know,
There's an ambitious project
some of them,
right there.
Some of them we've never spawned. We just keep trying, and and sometimes they
part of the
unfortunately,
lore.
They die before they get old. Like,
Do what you can when you can do it.
so let's go this way.
You have a lot of really cool fish, though. Like I said, I selfishly wanted to do this because I just wanted to come see everything.
Well, we're open to anyone.
I know. I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
come. Oh, we're going in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I firmly believe it's a public university, and
Right.
so we're open to anybody, anytime that there's someone in here. People could come
That's
through. and-
amazing.
People come through for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes students just come to look. Sometimes the university administrators come through just to
I believe it.
think. And we had a provost. A lot of pressure. He
Yeah.
would just come and just kind of like.
That
okay,
makes me really
so
happy.
He said it would remind him why we're here.
It's so
So-
rare, I think, that people take time to really enjoy their fish. You have the
Yeah.
jingus, and I Do you have just one in there?
Oh, those
They're
are
so pretty when they're little.
You know, so they're so pretty when they're little, and
when they turn into
they get to that size, and then they decide to kill each other.
Really?
And so I don't know if you know Leandro. He's a
Sousa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he saw this, and he's like, "Oh, I've tried to breed those." He said he had them in like a 5 meter by 5 meter pond, and they still killed each other.
Stop it.
So it's like, okay, so the
never
odds
mind.
of me breeding them in the tank like this,
Yeah.
it looked good at one moment, and then
Pikes are, I'm not into monsters really. I like a medium-sized cichlid, but I am a pike fan at any size.
I have spawned the, let me just shut this door.
Yeah.
The compressiceps.
Okay,
and those
really?
kind of the small ones.
Yeah, I've kept compressiceps, and I found them to be so much more aggressive than my notophthalmus and my regani. Like, way more attitude, but they're beautiful.
The ones I would love to do, many years ago, I used to spawn Lepidota.
Really?
But you can't get Lepidota anymore.
Yeah, I have not seen those.
And that's a nice pike. It's about yay
yeah,
big, you know?
those are not, that's a perfect
size. As opposed
size.
to the number of times I've had the big salami pikes, you know, and they get up to this
yeah.
and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
and
Everything
they're,
implodes.
and they're all done.
Yep.
Let me take you upstairs.
Okay.
So we'll shut this so that no one, well, there isn't anyone, but we'll shut it anyway.
Just in case.
So I have just a few tanks up here
Okay.
where I do
Always
a lot of my teaching. So we have a few things up here.
Nice. Yeah.
This is
Okay, so is this your classroom?
was where I do a lot of my teaching. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a bunch of convicts in
Yep.
here, and some catfish,
Ooh,
which are often breeding, but I don't know right now.
we love catfish.
I don't see anybody, but he often breeds in there.
I
So
like
that's
that.
kind of
It's
cool.
like
And then
the double.
this is where I'm actually going to try and breed the frontosa.
Oh, really? This is the. This
So
is
I've
gonna
been
be the
setting
site?
it up. I've got 3 good females, and I put in the convicts as, do you know the word dither?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So as a dither fish, the trouble with convicts is they get bigger, they cease to become dither,
Yeah.
and they're going to start forming pairs, which
Yep.
you guys already have, haven't
They are
you?
famous for doing
You've already
that.
done it.
It's already happened, you guys.
Yeah, they've dug it out.
They've
there.
succeeded. There's a
So I'm
pit.
going to have to take them out and put smaller ones in to keep the...
How do you choose your breeding fish? Like, what do you look for specifically with like the frontosa? Are you looking for anything specific when you put them in here? Just grabbing a couple females?
The biggest I can get.
Really?
For,
Okay.
for this experiment, I need the largest
Okay.
female to spawn.
Got it.
So I need to get what I'm looking for is how big are her eggs, and
Okay.
we need to know the exact number of eggs that she has.
Okay.
It's difficult data because people that breed frontosa, it makes sense, they want to raise the babies to sell, right?
Right.
And I need to take all of the eggs out and measure all of them.
Right.
And they're not usually that interested
Keen
in
on that.
This is a cool experiment with it. We're not running it right now. It's just got some cutter eye in it.
Yeah.
But what we do here
I like the cutter eye.
is when you read the hobbyist literature, it will say cutter eye breeds at a certain temperature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, how do you know that? So I came up with this a number of years ago, and it works very well. I said I have to give them a choice.
Yeah.
So if you dip your finger up there in the F,
F.
and then just go down the line.
Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So which one was the winner?
We can get 20.
That's a huge difference in
10
water
degrees
temperature.
Celsius.
Yeah.
So that's from anywhere from 68 to 90
Wow.
degrees difference.
Yeah,
and
it's
you'll
pretty
notice
significant.
see this little hole
Yep.
in the front, and so heaters up there, chillers down there.
Wow.
And the fish will go back and forth. When it's set up, I have the pots. I have it all set up identically, and they will go back and forth. It takes them a minute to figure this out. They're
Wow.
like, and then they choose their thing. Convicts like 28 degrees.
Really?
28 degrees.
Okay.
They're very, very.
Wow,
very now,
that is
they
really
will
cool.
spawn. So 28. That's 70. Or sorry, 80, 82.
Yeah, it's high.
Okay, they will spawn at 70, and they'll spawn at 90. But if you give them a choice, they're very particular, and they would like the 28. And so we do this on different species to
I love
see
that.
which temperatures different
Yeah.
species want.
That's very cool.
The I deal a lot with fish in the wild, and I see what happens is people they go to a river, they find a spawning fish, and the temperature was 74, and so they'll say, this fish likes to spawn at 74. Like, well, we don't know that it
Who's to
likes to
say?
spawn at
Yeah.
74.
Yeah.
We know that it did
It
spawn at
did.
74.
It's possible.
But if you want more likely odds of spawning it,
Yeah.
it really likes 78.
That is very pertinent to many fish keepers
Yeah.
who struggle spawning fish.
So a lot of what we do has pure science value. It's
Yeah.
interesting that because there are trade-offs involved in spawning it. Warmer temperature, the eggs develop much faster. Colder temperature, there's interesting issues of Saporegnia fungus does better
Right.
at cold. There's all these trade-offs involved. But we are interested in the science, but also a lot of our experiments have practical application.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for instance, I could tell you for any species of cichlid, if you gave me the egg size and the temperature, I could tell you within 10 minutes how long it'll take to hatch.
That's amazing.
Because we've
That
just
blows
done that
me away.
enough.
Wow.
So it'd be like, okay, so if it's a Midas cichlid, its egg is 1.6 millimeters at 24 degrees Celsius, it will take exactly 3 days and 9 hours and 10 minutes.
I
And
love that.
it's very predictable.
I love
Yeah.
that. I can't tell you
So-
how much I enjoy that.
Which also means that you can manipulate it. So,
Right.
for instance, sometimes when I'm giving talks, I tell people if you had angelfish and you knew you were going to be away for the weekend and you didn't want them to hatch, you can just turn down the temperature. It does not decrease their survivorship.
Right.
You could schedule it. I'm working on Monday. I'd like them to hatch at 6 p.m. on Monday. You could dial it in to
That's
that degree,
amazing.
and they'll do it. So,
Wow.
yeah. So lots of fun.
That tickles me to hear things
Yeah.
like that. I really can't tell. Like,
So-
that's so cool. What a cool thing to study.
So that's what we do.
Okay.
You may have noticed buckets everywhere. We do not use any central filtration.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
all buckets.
Okay.
And the reason is that, first of all, we don't have central filtration, but disease it would be
Oh,
an enormous issue.
huge.
We can't have disease, and we
Huge.
can't have any pheromones going from one tank to
Right,
the next tank.
disrupting
and
things.
So each tank is its own unit, which means that the maintenance is enormous.
So do you, I hope you have a lot of help. Do you have a lot of help? Do you?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
You want some?
It's
I'll come help
the
you.
challenge is students are very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
But they're also very busy,
That's true.
and they get busy at certain times,
Right.
like midterms,
Right,
and
right.
term paper time, and final exams. They just like, no, I got it, and I understand that.
Yeah, totally. You're in the world. You know
Yeah.
how it works, but
So it's
a lot of work for you.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
But I've been doing it here for 25 years, and some could use a little. Oh, that one's
see,
every day.
to me that's enjoyable. Cleaning fish tanks, although it's work, is so cathartic for me. But on this level, this is a lot.
Yeah, you'd have a lot of catharsis.
Yeah, I'd be
here.
very cathartic if I
Yeah.
had this to deal with.
So-
Look, I love just watching them. That is
Yeah,
so
he's very
cool.
nice.
I love, and it is that a difference in water
Yeah,
is huge.
it took me several different designs because you need to have the plexiglass thick enough
Right.
to insulate,
Right,
and the hole small enough that you can keep the heat in here.
right.
But you also have to have enough circulation that it's the same temperature
Evenly throughout.
there.
Yeah.
So it took a bunch of tries, but we got it done.
How long did it take you to master, like get it dialed in?
15 years. So-
Well worth the wait.
So a lot
Like-
of what we do, because like I said, it's Sac State. I do a
Yeah.
lot of teaching. I teach
Right.
3 or 4 courses at a time.
You're busy.
So we move a little bit forward. We put things away. We
Yeah.
move it forward a little bit.
Do what you can
we
do.
don't have the luxury of just grinding away at
Right.
it constantly. But yeah. So that's a bit pretty much it.
That's amazing. I'm blown
we-
away.
We do a lot of my master's students work out of the lab.
Really? Okay.
So we have, student projects on lamprey.
Ooh, love that.
We have projects on green sunfish.
Ooh, love sunfish.
One we're just finishing up on bluegill.
Okay.
Person who's working on lizards.
Yes, we keep reptiles as well. We're big
And
fans
a
in our
person
household.
who's working on birds.
Okay.
On
Migratory
migratory.
patterns?
Actually, well, her latest project is on burrowing owls.
Ooh,
and
that's cool.
What kind of tunnels they like.
Okay,
And
I love
let's
it.
see what else do we have. We have, so she worked in Costa Rica. She's doing an interesting project that just coming along. I'll show you
How cool.
what she's trying to do, she is actually working in the lab. The, do I have, oh, I don't have it here. Yes, I do.
It feels surprisingly nice in here.
So what she's doing
Good temperature.
is,
Oh, what is this? Oh,
so,
we were watching a talk with that.
okay, but this is the
amazes
latest
me.
version.
Is
What
it?
this
Okay,
is-
please show us, yeah.
So this is Anessa's work.
This is
and
awesome.
So we have a model of a fish, which it will bite. The eyeball actually goes to a force transducer,
Okay.
which has been very tricky to get it to work.
Wow.
And the whole purpose is so that we can evaluate how hard a parental fish is biting.
Oh, I love that. I've been
So-
bit by many, so
yeah,
I'm
so-
curious to know.
And if you stick your hand in, you can tell. Sometimes that's a wallop, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not.
Yeah,
so this
absolutely.
is we're
Cool is
quantifying that.
Oh, I'm gonna need updates on that one. That is
So
super
that's
cool.
yeah, that has taken a while to get.
I
that
actually
one.
was just saying how I had a pair of redhead tapajos that I tried to remove their eggs, and I had never been bit harder by a fish in my life, and I was bleeding. I pulled my
So
hand out.
that's what we
and-
want to be able to say is, it's partly a function of size, but it's also partly a function of motivation, like
Yeah.
how much they want to protect the kids, which is what we
100%.
study. So we knew that it was different,
Yeah.
but you can only say that to people. They say, well, how different?
Right.
Well, we can actually show you in newtons how hard
They're
the
hitting.
fish is attacking.
That is amazing.
So that's we'll see when that.
Yeah,
comes out.
I'm gonna stay tuned for that. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So that's about where we're at.
Well, I am thoroughly satisfied. This was even cooler than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I had envisioned many things in my head, but you have so many species, and I'm like, I'm just going to come steal all your fish. Like,
Well,
these are all so
can't
cool.
do that.
I know. I'd love to, though.
Fish can come in, but they can't go
I would
out.
love to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
this is amazing. I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, taking time.
Okay.
I know it's spring break, too. You could be doing anything
Well,
you
I could be
want.
cleaning fish tanks.
You could.
Which is
I
what
guess
I
we're
will be
helping
doing.
him then.
Yeah.
I guess we're keeping him from cleaning fish tanks. So, all right, you guys, you're welcome for this one. This one was super cool, and we're really appreciative. Like I said,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you for
us.
coming.
Get out. Get out of the fish lab. Goodbye. Oh, I love this.